And pretend I understand why, because Mark is still with me in the studio. You were the one who your face fell the minute it came up. We have got a picture, if we can put it up, of the rocket now sitting there with that statement. Can we pop that up while Mark explains? There's rocket launch, and it says from NASA, Artemis launch, today's launch attempt has been scrubbed. Mark, take us through that.
So it was the leak of the fuel, the crack in the foam, which worried the flight director. There's always a danger if there's cracks, then there could be debris, and if there's debris where you could puncture, as we saw during the terrible Challenger disaster back in the 80s, there's a chance that you could rupture a fuel tank, and if you've got liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, you could end up with a massive explosion.
Let me butt in. I did the Challenger.
Oh, OK.
And we were, in the old days, I went in to do a 40-second news flash that turned into a kind of 2-hour programme. And the big story that emerged from that was that NASA officials had said there's something dodgy with this system, and the directors said, we're still going to launch.
And that's
absolute scandal at the time.
That's where the lessons, I think, have been learned. And I think mission directors, launch directors are so aware now of listening to the engineers, listening to the experts. You know, it might have been OK, but it's a massive problem.
Even though there are not human beings sitting on top of this one, which there were in the case of Challenger.
People are kept at a good distance so that if things do go horribly wrong, people are safe. But it could have happened.
Take us through what happens now. We sort of slightly tongue-in-cheek joked about battery life and abort systems and stuff. But what happens next?
So the engineers, they've not taken the step yet to take all the fuel out of the Artemis rocket. It's stable. There's no worries, there's no dangers. But what the engineers are going to do is try and collect data to try and understand what's exactly gone wrong, the details of what's gone wrong. They will at some point take all the fuel out and store it safely, but then we'll be looking to launch now, 2nd of September. That's the next opportunity for NASA to safely launch. And so we'll be starting to go back to square one to come back to that.
So only about a week?
Launch. Yeah, only about a week.
And then there's another one on the 5th?
On the 5th, that's right.
OK. Let's bring Maggie. Thank you very much. Again, keep watching in case they do make any other comments. I'm going to bring Maggie and Andy back, if I may, in that order. Maggie, the thing about windows, again, as an astrophysicist, it is the alignment of these great bodies and whether it's the moment at which it's best to leave Florida at huge speed to head for the moon as the moon's moving round us and we both are moving round the sun. Just take us through why the 2nd of September and the 5th of September are the next two windows.
So these windows are based about fuel efficiency. So you want to go there using as little fuel as possible. So getting these alignment rights is kind of the optimal time to launch your vehicle to use the least amount of fuel, because we know fuel is expensive. And if we're taking all this cargo with us, we need to have as much fuel as we can already. And it's quite good that the moon is quite close because the windows come around quite often, whereas missions to like Mars, the window for Mars is like 2 years. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, as an academic who's an expert in a system that's 13 billion years old, a week, frankly, is almost neither here nor there.
Yeah, absolutely. And originally, Artemis 1 was planned to launch in 2016. So it's already like several years delayed. Another week, being on the safer side is not going to be such a huge problem.